How y'all doing, team? Hey, you know, it's kind of like when you hear somebody reading about you like that, it's like you're dead. So I hope I'm not dead. I'm going to ghost imagine this thing. You seeing a ghost in your own operation here. But, you know, at the end of the day, y'all doing okay, team? That sounds kind of weak. How y'all doing, team? I like some motivation out there. That's good. You know, I'm fighting to keep my voice, so if I can get with you, we can get with it as one team, right? Right? All right. All right. Good afternoon, Colonel Chen, Sergeant Jacobs, distinguished guests, commanders, sergeant majors, NCOs, soldiers, family, and friends. To the newest NCOs sitting here before us, I congratulate each of you for your hard work, perseverance, and dedication to becoming an NCO. I am honored to be here today as your guest speaker. As you complete this landmark occasion, think about it. This is the only occasion that recognizes the change in grade responsibility in our military. Most people who encounter me agree with my first words of, "How are you doing, team?" This is not to be reflective of sports, but it does touch upon the overall concept of a unified body being comprised of varying elements which work together cohesively to achieve a successful end state. We are all here today as an NCO Corps entrusted with taking care of our nation's most precious resource, its sons and daughters. Those sons and daughters protect our conscious ideals and our way of life. When I say NCO, I always reiterate that being an NCO is not just hard work, but a tough job that requires selfless leaders. Leaders who are endowed with sincere dedication and commitment to the enforcement of standards and discipline. Think for a few seconds about what being an NCO and leader means to you. Does it mean accepting substandard performance, not making on-the-spot corrections, only being a leader when someone is watching, or when it benefits you? I submit to you that being an NCO and leader requires a deeper sense of ownership, responsibility, and accountability, more than most people realize. Being an NCO means setting an example and leading from the front in all areas. It means seeking continuous personal and professional development in order to provide the most relevant leadership abilities and knowledge to your subordinates and at times peers. Yes, I did say peers, because not everyone has been taught, coached, and mentored on the necessary requirements it needs to be a dedicated NCO and leader who will ensure that their subordinates are well prepared to execute duties in garrison or on the battlefield. I want to reiterate the fact that every member of our military is someone's son or daughter, and every parent is counting on us to protect, train, develop, and return them home in a better state than when they left. Leading your subordinates requires hard work, long hours, often in dangerous environments, under grueling conditions, which tempers the steel of the nation's resolve. We are in a time where stern adherence to discipline can mean the difference between life and death. What every soldier needs and requires is leadership, not likership. Peter F. Drucker stated that leadership is not magnetic personality. That just as well can be a glib tongue. It's not making friends and influencing people. That is flattery. Leadership is lifting a person's vision to higher heights, the raising of a person's performance to higher standards, the building of a personality beyond its normal limitations. Always remember that you have to be the epitome of who your subordinates want to emulate in the professional and developmental growth stages. I come from a farming background, so excuse my analogy of wording, but this requires constant watering with guidance and knowledge, pruning with the constant enforcement of standards and discipline, and finally, harvesting by ensuring that they are promoted, recognized, and assigned to the best assignment that capitalizes on their ability to apply everything they have gathered from you over the growing season. This is all based on never-ending changes and growth. I pose a question to you. What is change and how does it tie in with leadership? I'm reminded of a book that I read several years ago, excuse me, which is written by Spencer Johnson, titled, Who Moved My Cheese? It tells of 4 mice, Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw, that revolve on the impacts that are related to change. It reflects on the ability to sniff out change early, one scurrying to action, another denies and resists change because they fear it would lead into something worse, or one that learns to adapt in time when they see that changing leads to something better. Ralph Waldo Emerson stated that for everything you have missed, you have gained something else. And for everything you gain, you lose something else. Think about everything you have gained because you chose to step out of your comfort zone and attain the next level of excellence. At the same time, you have overcome fear and uncertainty of the unknown to reaffirm your level of confidence. Never forget that life can either be accepted or changed. If it is not accepted, it must be changed. If it cannot be changed, then it must be accepted. As a leader, you must envision what is necessary for your subordinates to change in order to have positive growth in the military. Rose and Carter stated that a leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be. I charge every NCO leader in this room to teach, coach, and mentor your subordinates to be the best of the best in both word and deed. Sergeant Major Army William G. Brammer stated a vision earlier that remains consistent. It states, the goal of the non-commissioned officer whose duty is the day-to-day business of running the Army so that the officer corps has time to command it, is to continue to improve our Army at every turn. We want to leave it better than we found it. Regardless of the kind of unit you're in, it ought to be an elite outfit, because its NCOs can make it one. His words should resonate and reaffirm every NCO in tenets of how vital we are to this team's success. Today's NCO operates autonomously with confidence and competence. NCOs are empowered and trusted to get the mission accomplished. NCOs lead the way in education, training, and in discipline. They share their strength of character with every subordinate they lead, every officer they serve, and every civilian they support. NCOs are the keepers of the standards. From the recruiting station to basic training to combat zone, natural disaster assistance to graveside attendance at Arlington, NCOs continue to take the lead. You have an awesome responsibility and a direct impact on training and molding your subordinates. Over the years, you have developed your leadership styles and methods of doing business. Although your leadership styles differ, the base of leadership and being an NCO cannot change. You will be challenged and rewarded by your subordinates, concerned when they stumble and filled with pride when they succeed. Mentor and counsel them daily and take the time to work with those that are below average. Individual training is an NCO's responsibility. We have the NCO Creed, the Soldier's Creed, and the Warrior Ethos to reiterate value-affirming methods. Our military has changed a lot in the past few years. From uniform changes to personnel fluctuation, it seems to never stop. But always remember about the 4 mice in the book, Who Moved My Cheese, and the ability to sense change and make it work on your team's behalf. Every change is focused on making our military a faster, lighter, and more lethal force. As NCO leadership is our trademark. Without it, our great NCO Corps is ineffective and the mission will not succeed. As stated in the book, Art of War, leadership is a matter of intelligence, trustworthiness, humaneness, courage, and sternness. Our nation is still in conflict, and there will be challenging times ahead, so we need to be at the top of our game. Your subordinates will challenge you each and every day, and you're rewarded by the respect they hold for your ability as a leader. You'll be successful as they follow your leadership in the difficult business of being ready to fight and win our nation's wars. As I close, I reflect on Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Your time in the military will be over before you know it. The people you influence and teach today will be the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you for your service and your leadership. Your soldiers demand your very best. Lead them to success. Godspeed to you in all your future endeavors and continuing to make our Army team strong.
Air Defense Artillery, trained, deployed, in demand.